That's amazing.
I drink deep of the episode we are about to record. This is Ichi week.
I'm actually.
I don't want to be a part of that week.
I'm actually curious for someone to actually
I'm
go
sorry
through.
that I missed the Bakugan episode.
I want.
Are you guys talking about Bakugan? No!
I want someone to go through the show and just have a montage of every time Ichi's cracked open a pop.
That's every episode ever.
Not every.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No? Yeah.
Make a shorter list, the ones he didn't.
Itchy, it is every episode. What does the opening start with?
Oh yeah, the roll call.
No, that doesn't count.
But
Cue the roll call.
we'll just have to listen to the roll call then. The Pepsi within me.
The merch around me!
The friends connected to me!
The waifus above me!
The source that inspires me.
The trauma before me!
The ultra that mans me.
Really?
Alright, welcome to Radio Sentai Castranger, episode 298.
Hang on. What was that roll call? Why did we say those things?
It was from Germany. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
we played the German roll call this week.
Alright, guys, I'll have you know that I watched the first 4 episodes. I am totally caught up. It's been a while since I watched Deep Space Nine.
Oh.
Man, I hated when Cisco went up to Picard and he's like, I hate you because you were Borg and you killed my family.
Yeah,
And you know what? It really sucked when Deirdre got her fucking air crossbow.
Wait, what are you talking? There's no
Do you mean
Deirdre.
Major Kira when she got her
Yeah, there's no Deirdre in
air
Deep Space
phaser?
Nine.
I love
And
when
she said
there.
to me clearly, Tom, I want you to watch Deep Space Nine episodes with Nog.
I know, and Rowan, where it's like, I'm gonna get my fire sword, and he got his Red Ranger
Was
armor. Come on,
Rohan
guys.
one of the Paul Wraiths?
He was one of the Protog-Wraiths.
Because Gul Dukat actually turned into a Bajoran, and
We didn't get to the episode where Rohan passed on his Mystic Knight powers to Captain Cisco.
No.
Well, I did like the fact there was a lot more with Chief O'Brien.
What the fuck are you guys talking about? I was in the other room.
Okay.
And for anybody who hasn't, I don't know what's going on exactly, but when we
Neither
actually
do I.
watched was Mystic Knights of Tierna.
That's how you know it's Emily! Because she explained the joke.
He did an Emily Janaito.
Yeah.
Emily Janita!
I
Okay.
did?
Yeah, you explained our joke as we were making it.
Oh, so she pulled an Izu.
Yeah, you pulled the Izu, yeah.
Okay, so, since we subjected ourselves to Bakugan last week,
Oh man, I wanted to watch so much more. I didn't get to see what the end was
sorry,
between
I missed
Dan and Masquerade. Oh
I
man.
really wanted to watch it too, and then I missed it.
we'll start a sideshow then.
I wanted some Beyblade, goddammit.
Oh, we can do that eventually
Wait, is
too.
it
Oh,
is it
everybody
episode-
tune in to
is it-
Ultra Bakugan.
Wait, it's episode
Oh,
zero?
guys, it's episode of Zero.
Episode 298, it's Azuril.
Yay.
I mean, it's a normal
what's
type for
terrifying. That'll
some
also-
fucking reason.
Alright, so this show. Hey, I'm really old, and I was actually of the right age while watching it, but I actually didn't watch this show because I was sick the 2 weeks it was on.
Before we get into what we're actually talking about, we are a company of knights who get together every week
Hey.
to talk about usually Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, and
Except when we don't.
but this is the last week of our hiatus because the shows are returning to the air this weekend.
I'm King Ichi. I have news from the outer reaches.
Oh?
We have to bring sustenance to our troops, but we don't have time to clean the dishes in the galley. So I think we should skip thine dishes and deliver the food right away.
By horse carriage.
There's another just delivered by ferry.
Yes.
Like they're drones.
Yes.
Say goodbye to your kneecaps.
Yeah, fuck this. I'm
No,
gonna watch Ultraman.
There's an army, and there's another army coming. There's over 6 million warriors. Look at the details on those champions.
There should be
They're starting to raid. They're from the Shadow Legend
God
dimension.
damn
There
it.
should be called like a food drone delivery service called like Tinkerbell.
Raid
It's just like
Shadow
the bears.
Legends?
Yeah, raid Shadow Legends.
Oh,
No.
no.
Shadow Legends are raiding us.
Did you show that one bit? Did you see that one bit I sent you?
I did not yet, no.
Look at me! I'm an anime! Anyway. Okay, so... this week we are talking about 4 episodes of Mystic Knights of Tir na nog.
4. I watched 6.
Good boy.
Oh, so you got to see.
Well, I hope you don't have to have too much entertainment in your day.
Wait, does that mean Gar got to see Ivar and Angus get their armors?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes.
So I don't think we can talk about this, unfortunately, because it was good. We all liked it. We're gonna put out a shitty episode of us talking about good things about a good show.
The fuck is
Well,
this?
before we get into the actual discussion, let's have the bumper go.
We are so gonna get copyright strikes for that.
Yeah, but
It's a risk I'm willing to take.
That wasn't the
Hey,
opening.
Gar, can you sing the Mystic Knights Tir na nog theme for us, please?
Yeah, sing it. And if we get zapped, we'll replace it with that. With
No,
you
yeah,
singing.
let Gar sing it.
Oh,
Sing,
shit.
sing the
All
song,
right,
Gar.
Alright, fine. I'm actually trying to remember the lyrics.
I got
lyrics?
Coming
got-
from a distant time, full of magic fights. I don't know, something
That's
magic.
the German version.
Because the Mystic Knights are here.
No,
I know the theme.
No.
That's the wrong theme. The other one is Mystic Knights. On Tir na nog now. Mystic
Ivar,
Knights.
Angus, Deirdre.
Mystic Knights, Tir na nog.
No, guys, it's
Mystic
here come the
Knights.
Power Rangers. Here come the Power Rangers.
I would have loved a Mystic Force, Mystic Knights crossover.
Right? Okay. Let's try and not all talk at once because it's getting chaotic.
But that's the show.
Are we gonna
I know,
review chaotic?
No, that's next.
I wish. I fucking
But first, before we get into the discussion, if you are listening to the show on Saturday, the day we post it, make sure you drop a comment. Let us know that you're one of our premium fans who listen to our shit same day.
And if you are, why the hell are you watching this? Go watch Ultraman Z.
Zet.
Ultra man.
Fight you.
All right.
Ultraman Z!
Ichi,
Yes.
why don't you tell us what
Ultraman,
Mystic Knights of
Ultraman.
Tir na nog is?
I'm glad you asked. So, everyone who is a fan of Power Rangers might know the company that produced it, Saban.
Wait, if I was Toei.
Totally. I would love to see a
that's
Japanese.
the original.
Oh my god! I
It
would
was
love to see a
Pain, Saban,
Japanese
and-
adaptation of this
Okay,
show.
we're
It was
getting
him,
off track.
Saban, and nobody else.
So, Saban, at one point, decided to create a completely original show instead of taking footage from Super Sentai, and thus we were given Mystic Knights of Tir na nog, a show based largely around Irish mythology. It's got a lot of names from actual Irish myth.
Filmed in Ireland.
Buckle up, buckaroos.
And it was filmed on location in Ireland, although in the show they never actually say it's Ireland, they just say the island.
Hello, excuse me, are you talking about Celtic Knights?
Oh no, it's the Sentinel, the dragon.
No, Dragonborg. We're talking about Mystic Knights.
I could have been a Mystic Knight. I'm Celtic themed. I've got armor, and I could do it.
But we don't have any Japanese footage for you.
The
For this show.
Beetleborgs below me.
I'm not Irish, I'm Egyptian.
Did
The
you just-
flabber around
Did
me.
you just say the Beetleborgs blow me?
They do.
I wasn't supposed to.
Beetle
talk about
blow!
Well,
yeah,
that's
you're
like-
Dragonborg.
Well, one time Flabber was short on the money that he was paying me, and I said, "What do you got there?"
He wasn't
He's
short
like,
elsewhere.
He's like, "I am a shapeshifter after all."
I want to ask everyone who watched this.
I did.
I did.
Me too.
I
I
had a Rowan figure as a kid.
Wait a minute,
Me too.
hang on. Do you
I had
think
the
who
Mystic
watched
Knights
this for
figure.
the show or
Who watched
who watched
this
it when it
as a child?
aired.
Oh, I didn't exist yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
boom, 100%.
This show, I'm pretty sure this show is why I love knights, why I love medieval weaponry, why I love transformations in general. This show is one of the most influential shows of my childhood.
Quite so.
So rewatching it was awful for you, I'm assuming.
Here's the thing. Before I rewatched it for this episode, I remembered it as being entertaining, charming, but I remember the fights and the CGI being not that great.
After having watched it, I agree.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's the perfect level of cheesy.
It aged surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Like,
This
the
is
effects were
first time
never
I've
good.
never watched Mystic Knights of Tir na nog.
Me
And
either.
may I say something?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay, what happened was I was watching it in a room on my own, just watching it for the podcast, and my mom came in and was like, "What are you watching? It looks awesome." So I asked her, "Do you want to watch it together?" And she said, "Sure." So I came down and I put it on the big TV, and we watched all 4 episodes, me and my mom.
Oh, that's nice.
And she really, really loved it because she's super into like Celtic mythology and medieval stuff.
Mhm.
So, and I actually have a review from my mom of the first 4 episodes of.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
Read it.
Of
Tell
Tierna
us.
Nook.
Tell us. Please do.
It's right here. I can read it if you want.
Please do.
Okay, this is my mom. I love the Celtic setting. The idea of the traditional druid aspects fits in really well with the idea of mystic knights, and their armor does a pretty good job of identifying their individual elements, and I love the use of elements. That ties in so well with the Celtic background as well. The druids, the fairies, the elves, and of course the dragon. So much fun. Characters are typical archetypes, but they each have a definite personality, albeit stereotypical, and I like them all. I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Yeah.
I
Your
gotta
mother
say,
is a really
We're going to watch
that
more together, so
Go ahead, Paul.
totally
episode.
separate from the-
No, please finish your thought. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say we are gonna watch more together, completely separate from the podcast.
Aw.
Cool.
That's really good. And honestly, your mother. Boom. That's a really, really good critique of that.
Yeah.
That's
I think so too. It's like a perfect summary of why
Like-
of why it's good. It's corny, but I
Yeah.
still like it.
For a second, that sounded like a real it's like
Like a
it's like
professional
no,
Yelp
no, it's
review.
like no. It's like yeah. It's like well, I like Knights of Tierna. Yeah, your mother likes Magic Knights of Tierna. Like, well, she did.
She actually did.
Yeah.
Well, I
Like,
hope.
for real, that is actually a really, really good critique of that. It actually fits the show. I actually agree with it. The show it does its best to stay true to like the mythology that it's trying to come from, but it also knows it's a low budget show that's trying to make its way off the ground.
You know, you can tell a lot of people really believed in this idea.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Gar?
Well, I hope everyone enjoys the. I'm sorry. How many episodes does this have?
50.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Right?
That's 50 episodes.
50 What the fuck?
Well, remember, this was at a time when like these kind of shows aired like every day.
And we got like a 6th
Yeah, there was a
Ranger, too,
commercial. It was like
Yeah, it was
Mystic Knights of
every
Tierna on
day,
Monday,
every
Wednesdays, and
weekday.
Saturday
Yeah.
mornings.
Let's remember that VR Troopers got 90-something episodes.
At 98.
Did you guys ever
Somehow.
talk about VR Troopers on this show?
We've
Not
talked
yet.
about...
Episode 300.
Something,
Yeah.
something that your mom said though, Emily, that actually like it's very true. The music grabs you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The music, that soaring, those trumpets and horns.
The
very
second-
Irish.
Her in. She heard it from another room and asked what I was watching.
The second that opening starts, my heart is at peace.
Oh.
But I remember what. I can definitely say this. If you didn't tell me this was a Saban made show, I could honestly say that this was totally a PBS show.
You know what it felt like?
It had that PBS feel to it.
The Mystic Knights are powered by viewers like you.
Yeah.
You know what it felt like? You know
I
what,
hope y'all enjoyed Arthur. Next up, Mystic Knights.
you know what it felt like? And the funny thing is, all the shows were like this. It felt like the first season of Xena or Hercules.
Yeah.
Because those shows basically is like they're mostly just in the
Sinbad.
forest and like rudimentary sets. And then when they got popular, they got better effects and they got better sets.
Yeah.
That's her.
I will say
No
that
Beast Wars.
this show to me, I grew up, I watched a lot because like I'd never seen it before, and I was just like, whoa, what's this? This in Power Rangers? And like, so I got super into it. Like my friend Ryan and I, like we were really into it a lot too. So like my friend always liked being Ivar, and then I liked being Rowan at the time because like my favorite character is Angus personally, but I just,
You want to know something really weird and why I have more of a connection to this show than most people? Angus looked like a dead fucking ringer for my uncle. When this show aired, the Angus looked exactly the way my uncle looked.
You
When I
gotta
was-
see if you can find a picture of your uncle.
Did you ever see them? Did you ever see them in the same place?
And Angus was his name.
But I
say
think,
That's
Angus.
a thing from a later episode.
but I think it's thanks to this show that like because
No, I remember the full song. There once was a lad who was very bad, And Angus was his name.
Trying to see why I didn't watch the show.
I remember that.
Right?
You know what's
Oh,
funny?
that's from episode 6 or episode 5.
Oh,
For me, the funny thing was the literal only memory I have of this show was like a McDonald's commercial.
There
That's
were
it.
McDonald's toys for this.
Yeah.
yep.
I didn't actually remember that, but when I looked it up, it seems like most people remember it because of the McDonald's toys.
Because I looked at
Yeah,
like,
because
eBay and
it was a
lot of them
combined.
have
Was
toys.
this show advertised? Because I swear to God, I
Oh,
don't
Fox
remember
advertised it all the time.
I
when it
remember I
started.
had a figure that was like it was like a 10-inch figure of Rowan, and like the armor pieces were off of him, and it could be regular Rowan, and then you could add the armor onto him to make like a complete.
Yeah, there was
version
a toy
of
line.
this Night of Fire.
No, I know,
But,
I'm sure there was.
But no, this so I was starting to get to is that like this like I like playing with weapons in my hand all the time. Like I especially did a lot as a kid, and I think it was because of this show was the reason why like because like Rowan does
Lane,
like this so
I regret to inform you, you're holding a sword right now.
yeah no exactly. So like in the show like Rowan does this
Spin?
sword spin like this twirl, and like I was watching it. We were watching it tonight. I was just like, yeah, I do that exact twirl.
You know what I was gonna say though? I was like, I wanted to say to who played Rowan? Do you know?
I
He's
don't
got a weird
remember.
I
name.
forgot his
They all
name.
had very Irish names.
Anyway, I wanted to say to the guy, yeah, dude, I've seen Conan the Barbarian too.
And
That
yeah,
swing is from because he couldn't put his arms
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that sword twirl, but then like Ivar with his trident, like every time I had like a spear weapon or a trident, like he always did like the spin.
Because
And
that's
it
how he
always, like-
activated the lightning.
Yeah, and so I always like doing that spin too. So, but no, I have very fond memories of the show, and I'm sad it didn't like go on.
I want to live in the timeline where this show flourished.
Yeah.
Well, if it did, we wouldn't have gotten Power
We
Rangers
wouldn't,
Lost
we
Galaxy.
wouldn't have the Digimon dub.
See, I was ready to sacrifice Power Rangers, but I don't want to live without Digimon.
That's true.
But, fun fact, this show was actually supposed to have a second season, and it didn't because they instead funneled the money for it into Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Well, I mean, think of it. Yeah, because how much original footage did Lost Galaxy have? I mean, original villains, new footage with the Sentai villains, original mooks.
I was talking to Paul about this. Like, I have to imagine this was a pretty expensive show to make.
Especially
Like, they're
going
filming
all the
on
way to
location,
Ireland.
like
all those
extras.
extras. All those
With
extras.
their
Now,
toku
even
style
with
costumes
the
and
rudimentary costumes, they had to be expensive.
And not only that, like, I get that, like, you know, like shows like this. The point, let's be honest, the point of them is to sell toys. How many toys could they have made out of this though? Like maybe just those 4 or 5 heroes, but that doesn't equate to what they're making. You know,
There was once that lad who was very bad.
There were other toys. There was, like, the King and the Druid and Maeve and Torque and
but
Miter
how
and
many-
the monsters.
How well do you think those sold?
And the fifth ranger.
Probably
We'll
not.
get to
They were
that.
Probably shelved. My only memory with this show is walking around friggin' not Value Village, the other one, Salvation Army, and like this was like there for $5, and I was like, nah. Oh look, original Star Wars VHS tapes for 75 cents,
All right,
And they
cat's
sit-
out of the
and-
bag. For those who
and
don't
they
mind,
still worked.
for those who don't mind spoilers, if you watch later in the show, there is a quote unquote 6th Ranger, which is to say a 5th Mystic Knight.
Wait, hold on. You telling me in a Toku show they add a character on?
Right?
What?
I'm
shocked.
Next thing you're gonna tell me is that he's made just to sell more toys.
Yeah. I won't go into details on the character himself, but I will say that he is the Mystic Knight of Forest.
Can I say
I've
this?
always wanted to be a Mystic Knight.
And not exactly the same, but there is something that I would qualify as a Dark Mystic Knight later.
Interesting.
I don't know what.
Watch the show and find out.
All 50.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
He-
there's 50.
All I'll say is I believe that.
Oh!
Yeah, that character was one
Yeah!
of the toys, I believe. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Yeah.
So each
What is the plot?
what's the plot?
So, on an unnamed island that
Yeah.
definitely was not Ireland, but totally was Ireland.
It's Ireland.
It's Ireland.
Just say in Ireland.
Yeah. The two kingdoms of Kells and Temra waged an endless war.
Mm-hmm.
Next
Kells, the good kingdom, led by King Connacher, whose name is spelled Conchobar, because that's how those names are. And Temra, led by Queen Maeve.
Who is Maeve?
Shut up, Maeve.
3 rings are made for the dwarf lords.
Oh, Oh, Squid
You know
Wars.
what? You're not wrong,
I
because
found-
the mythology of this show is...
I found the figure I
it
had.
tries.
Yep.
So that was it. That was the Rowan figure.
Look, he's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, no,
Because the armor comes off.
He's a big boy. The armor comes off.
Like,
Yeah.
for real, this show wants to be taken seriously.
Next thing you're going to tell me is that when the sun came down, the gargoyles that protected the castle came to life, and one of them was voiced by Keith David. Or is that another show?
Different show.
Gargoyles.
Oh.
got your name in it. So yes, the plot of the show is basically about the war between Kells and Temra, and how Kells channels the power of the legendary mystic knights in order to fight back against Queen Maeve's ever-growing dark magic.
And if I may, there is a third faction, which is Tierna Nog. It is
The kingdom of the fairies.
the little people.
The Fairy Kingdom, yep.
The Fairy Kingdom.
And they really actually act loyally to how fairies and the fair folk
Yeah.
were in Celtic mythology.
They're
In other words,
mischievous.
they're kind of jerks.
They're mischievous, they're kind of jerks, but they side on the side
They're
of
like a
goodness.
magic Celtic internet.
I would really love to. Maybe you know this. Like, whose brainchild
They're
was
true
this?
neutral.
I don't know exactly.
Because, like, yeah, because you go into it, it's like, yeah, they actually, there is a lore to this.
They
which
did
is
the
interesting.
research.
Yeah.
Like, and so I'd be curious, like, who's, because this had to have been a passion project.
Oh yeah.
This couldn't have just been thrown together.
Also,
You know?
there's one problem. This isn't Power Rangers, so finding history on this show is fucking none.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a challenge to just find footage of this show these days.
Yeah.
Only recently did someone start uploading pretty good quality rips of it up onto YouTube.
Thanks, Germany.
Germany.
You try.
Oh yeah, and here's something else interesting about the show. The opening in the German airing of the show is a completely different song.
Yeah, it was like a Mystic
English.
Force kind of song.
Yeah, it's German airing, but it was an English song.
Because the Mystic Knights are here.
Yeah.
Could be worse. Could be like,
I
yo, Mystic Knights, they've come up with Celtic power. They're gonna go around and make you take a shower.
Here come the Mystic Knights.
Not the
Here come the
Nazi
Mystic
German
Knights!
state.
Here come the Mystic Knights!
Mystic Knights, yeah.
Mystic Knights! Oh.
Tyranno.
Go within me!
So our four major protagonists are Rohan,
Yeah,
who is the
Oh, I
apprentice of the druid Kahad, whose
I thought
name
it
is
was
spelled
Roland.
Cathbad. Kahad.
I thought it was Rowan too.
it's pronounced Rowan.
It's
like,
Rowan.
like the blue Beetleborg.
What?
Did somebody say
Roland.
Beetleborg?
No!
No.
No, I'm in the other room. If you need me, I'll just come right back.
Go away!
Tell Akio we'll meet him in like an hour.
Because, yeah, I think in, like, Gaelic, H is the W sound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Rowan.
Yeah.
Our second protagonist is Deirdre, the princess of Kells.
And who's she played by?
If I may...
Oh, Amy O. Johnson?
Yeah,
Like,
Amy
what?
I think her actual name was Lisa Dwan or something like
Yeah,
that.
But she looks just
Like
like...
Amy Jo Johnson.
So-
Fucking creepy.
And I'm
So
sure that's
if
what they were going for.
So I decided that we should call her Amy O. Johnson.
If I may...
Imagine it was just Amy Jo Johnson trying to do an Irish accent.
Oh, God.
No, it isn't.
If I may,
Shoot.
I found a review from 1999 on Internet Movie on IMDb.
Uh-huh.
If I may read it.
May away.
This show is a show that is great for adults and children to sit down together and watch. The stories are a little slow for adults, but they are still good. There are lots of children in my family, boys and girls, and it is hard to get them to all agree on what to watch. But
I
they
feel like this
always
guy's venting.
agree with each other when they want to watch Mystic Knights of Tierna.
Oh.
I feel like this guy might be in a cult.
It is a wonderful show,
Yes,
and
my children.
I hope that they will continue to keep making it.
It's
All of
I've got bad news for you!
Hold on! All of the kids in my family and myself think that Vincent Walsh is the best of them all.
That's the guy who plays Angus.
Okay. He's Not so good. great.
We have seen that he has done lots of other work and think that he is doing a great job. We wish all of the actors, actresses, writers, directors, and producers the best of luck. And would like to say keep up the good work.
Can't wait for Mystic Knights Season 2.
Oh,
A
no.
literal review from IMDb from 1999.
I do love the old internet.
I guess it's
Oh, they're doing so
parents'
good! I
life.
sure hope this works!
What was that, Emily?
I guess it's just to show the parents like as well.
And their children.
That's usually not how those correspond. Like, oh, I think this show is great for you, Billy. Fuck off, Mom. I want to watch VR Troopers because there's
That's the
talking
cool
dog.
one.
God damn, Mom!
I was expecting like that review to go into. I surely hope that one day something like a podcast will talk about it.
Who has thought that, like, all these people that worked on Mystic Knights, whether they're still alive or not,
I hope so.
I don't know.
That long ago.
Whoa.
Probably.
Yeah, they're probably. Like,
All those people from the ancient myth.
Unless there was like a plane crash or something.
but
It's not like it's
Just on their
that
way
long
out
ago.
home from set.
Just pulls a Leonard Skinner.
Well,
Half the band gone.
Apparently, it was created by Haim Saban, so it was his passion.
No, but was
No,
he
no.
the initial?
No,
was
but-
Hames one
Executive
himself?
producer Haim Saban.
That just means he paid for it.
Who wrote it?
Who wrote it?
Yeah.
It doesn't say.
Yeah.
you know what he did? He used the money that he didn't pay the other Power Ranger actors for.
There you go.
The
Ooh.
producers were Robert Hughes and Lauren A. Levine.
Okay, I have a funny thing. The first 3 episodes were directed by Robert Hughes. I looked them up. One of the big funny thing about him, it always kept coming up as Robert F. Hughes, one of the creators of fucking Phineas and Ferb. I'm like,
I
Oh,
mean, it could be.
I mean, I was that close to thinking, did the guy that made Phineas and Ferb fucking make a Power Ranger spin-off thing? And then, like, I looked more into it. Oh no, it's just one of like the directors and producers of like the Saban shows. Like, he did a bunch of Mighty Morphin, Beetleborgs, VR. Basically, he worked on all of them.
Interesting.
So,
Okay, now you're saying it. I heard it that time.
So what you're saying is the person who worked on this particular style of show worked on this particular style of show.
Yeah.
my
But,
God.
like, I was just thinking whether or not if he actually went on to do like anything bigger.
Doesn't matter. All the people working on this are pedigreed tokusatsu filmmakers.
Now, if you're watching this show and you're expecting to, like, because it's taking place in, like, medieval times, like, you know, in Ireland, stuff like that, you're expecting to see, like, massive epic battles between armies. Oh boy, look forward to it. But if you expect to see, like, bloody massacre and death, oh no. You're going to see, like, people punching each other, elbowing each other, pouring water on people.
Oh,
I love this one. Okay, my favorite is right at the beginning. You see this huge fight going on, and then you see this guy fucking ninja leap a guy off of a fucking, like, yeet a guy off a horse.
Yeah.
It's so rad, and they show it like 4 times.
You know what I like to describe the scale of combat in this show? A really moderately funded LARP.
So, like, whenever you see them, like,
It
fighting
really does look
with...
like a LARP.
So whenever you see them, like, fighting with swords, they're just like,
Oh my god.
They make big, wide, predictable swings.
The fight choreography in this is the worst I've ever seen.
It's
Yeah,
absolutely terrible.
Like, the worst.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I knew it was bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's like...
This is a show completely built around its world building. And thank goodness that the world building is actually good enough that you are invested.
Yeah, but I think this is why it failed.
Probably, but like I was saying earlier, I love this show so much just because of the charm and the armor and the theming and,
Oh, no,
and
the
the
armor's
music is
amazing.
good and
Charm and the armor and the charmer.
the charmer.
The Charmer.
The
Just
Charmanders.
Everything else about this show was so good that even as a child, I forgave the really bad CGI and the subpar fighting
Hey,
choreography.
when we started watching these episodes, our group here, the first monster showed up, we're like, oh, look at that, it's so bad. 5 minutes later, we were fine.
Yeah.
We were
Oh,
like,
no,
yeah,
wow,
you
it's
know
not-
what?
it's not that bad.
No,
Yeah.
like, this is what I mean. The show's campy, which I like. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed watching this.
Yeah.
And, like, the CGI, I won't even say it's bad. I think it was just of its time.
Yeah.
But the thing that I didn't like was that because we only watched the first 4 episodes, so we only saw 2 larger monsters.
Yeah.
And I was like, these would have looked great as costumes.
Yeah.
It almost looks like they were designed to look like Toku costume monsters, but they just wanted to do CG.
But you know what was?
I don't know.
You know what was really cool though? So like in the show, like they don't just like, oh, you guys are the Mystic Knights. Here are your morphers, and like here's your not.
They don't
Megazord
get
thing.
everything in episode 1.
Yeah, it's like you must go on.
You have to
it's
go on
like
a quest.
Yeah, it's like you have to go on a quest. I'm already on a quest. A quest to get my
That's the
land
thing.
back.
Add it to the quest log.
So
By the time we get got to episode 4 and finished, all the characters still didn't have their full power set.
Yeah.
And the thing, that's only half their goal. Because they have to get the armors to beat the dragon. And
Not to beat the dragon, to tame the dragon.
Yeah, to tame the dragon. So it's like...
And then the dragon leads them to the sacred warrior of legend, Draganta.
And I even like how that's an interesting
totally
thing.
isn't the protagonist.
Totally.
When they're like, okay,
Totally not.
let's go get the dragon so that we can find this great warrior to help us.
You mean Poyer, the dragon of
They
death.
try and shortcut and go right for the dragon, and it doesn't work well for
Yeah,
them.
they're like, you know what, maybe we should listen to the little person.
You know, I just thought of something. Drop the.
Bless you.
Drop the
If they had dropped like the Toku angle, right? This might have been a fun like medieval show. You know,
This could have been like a Zix level
Like,
1.
yeah, like just like fights and shit, sure, and maybe armor, but like the henching maybe is what like threw people off. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's what threw people.
I love the henshins in this show.
No, but they are two clashing styles.
I know, but I don't
They
think
work
anyone at
together.
the time was like, "Oh, I don't like it because of that."
I don't know, man. This show did fail.
I will say that I think a couple of the henshins, aka Deirdre and Angus's, could have been more well edited.
And I don't mean literally the henshin is what sunk it. I mean more like, I'm saying more, maybe if they had just actually tried to make like a medieval style like show aimed at younger kids with magic and stuff, and like
You
No,
can
but
keep the color
that's
coded.
what-
Yeah,
you
like,
the
keep, like,
color-coded-
What are you
color-coded armor
actually
and shit.
suggesting they change?
it's hard to explain because like this is trying to be a toku show in some ways. They're trying to do the fighting. They're trying to have the monster of the day sort
So
of.
you
thing.
want it without the stock sequences and the tropes?
basically
Is what you're asking.
like maybe because
So
I think
have
Paul,
to buy
I
and
think
fit it.
Paul's right. Like I think the lore could have made this its own thing. It didn't need to be a toku style
I
show.
think the henshin sequence too could have been like the armor going like like like
Oh, like the
helmet,
plates like flying
yeah,
on?
and then you see them like take like their helmet like forms in their hand, and then they go like that, and they plan on.
I think that could have been done
That would have
well.
been super
Do you-
cool.
I think what they should
The
have done.
one thing I wish they had that they didn't is morphers.
Was their
I mean,
weapons,
their
like-
weapons were kind of functioned as their changers.
I mean, like, it's just civilian powers.
So
This
they
could
just
have-
hold up their weapons.
That's what I was gonna say too. This could have worked as books.
Ooh, yeah, should expand.
There were junior novelizations.
No, but I mean like books.
like Narnia books.
Yeah.
Oh, now that would be a kick-ass crossover.
I would be interested.
I did have Mystic Knights, the junior novelization as a kid.
That
thing.
would be a kick-ass crossover. You have the Mystic Knights with the Sons of
read
Adam,
books.
Daughters of Eve.
That's the joke. There you go.
But
yeah, like for a production created by Saban, which is known for minimizing budget, for their only original production, I was surprised, even as a child, by how ornate the armor is.
I was about to say, like, they definitely put their money where it mattered in terms of, because the look of this show is the best thing.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this show, like, I would love to see, like, a high definition rip of this one.
If it exists,
Like,
anywhere.
one day, if it ever happens.
Like, if the Masters
If
do
anyone
exist somewhere.
knows where we could find it, or if anyone's listening who would contact someone,
Do you know what this is?
like, I'll pay top dollar for high quality Mystic
if I
Knights.
may, you know what this is? You look at Power Rangers and Master Rider, and you look at Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. Mystic Knights is Garo.
You know what?
yeah,
That's
It is the Saban Garo.
I do not understand that.
Garo's a small independent franchise in Tokusatsu.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kinda.
It's Garo.
Like, it's not made to sell toys.
Except
it's
I don't
just
think
made
Garo
for-
has the same variance of color in the armors that this does.
See, here's the thing.
But I get what you're saying.
It was designed to be the more ornate, but more transgressive.
They're very in Garo. It's very clearly knight armor.
Yeah. They wanted the suits to look more ornate. It's supposed to be more for young adults and stuff like that. But it's also more transgressive sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mystic Knights is Saban's version of what would eventually become Garo. Because Garo was more like, we're going to make this
Yeah,
look...
you know what? That seems pretty on
Yeah,
the
trying
head.
adapting Garo.
Well, it's independent thing.
Probably deals and shit.
Where's our Mystic Knights FF14 crossover?
So while we're on that topic, let's
Why?
talk about the most memorable goddamn thing about this show: the armor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I love it.
I like the
fucking
armor. The armor's
beautiful.
cool.
Yeah.
I think they.
I love Deirdre's helmet.
I think Deirdre's could have been a little.
Yeah, that's
Dressed up
interesting
more.
that they gave her like not like a mouth guard and
Well,
stuff
because
like
we
that.
need to see that it's a woman.
Yeah.
Like,
Although I do like that hers looks like a Valkyrie.
I point to Captain Phasma.
I just wish it fit her better.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
Like head on, it was fine, but any angle you could see how far it stuck
and
out.
with her suit in general, it did feel like, oh, well, we need to remind them that she's a woman. Like, unfortunately,
Because none of the Power Rangers can be boys.
But it was a cool thing how like each of their helmets did do like a ninja storm thing where like they would like
They opened up.
see,
Yeah,
and
they
that's what
opened up.
I was hoping she would have something like a white one. Like,
Yeah.
that would have worked.
Like, it's cool that their mouth guards come up, but I would have actually
They already
like, loved
had
to have
Angus,
seen
though.
them do a Power Rangers like thing, like take their helmets off and like hold them under their arm or something. That'd be cool.
Angus is
There might be a
what
moment
you-
where they hold their
what you
helmets
would
in their
like
arms, but I don't
I
remember.
hope so.
What are you saying, Paul?
Angus is already what you would like Deirdre to be, but he's the male, so
Yeah.
Which one's
he
Angus
gets
again?
The
Far
silver
left.
one. From the left.
And like, but yeah, like Ichi, you were saying, like, just how ornate these
Right?
armors are.
Yeah, they're
Legitimately, these maybe blues, maybe the bright colors aside, these legitimately wouldn't be out of place in like Game of Thrones,
Right?
Pull up
Like
the
if they just darken the colors a little.
It's funny that you mentioned that you single out Ivar because he's like the prince from a foreign country in this story.
It's from Essos.
pull up the hyperformers, like in terms of
Oh.
toys.
they had hyper.
Well,
Yes!
Rowan did. I don't know if anyone else did.
Oh, Rowan did. That's right.
It was Battle Fury.
Holy shit!
Fourth picture. Here you go. Yeah.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
What the?
There you go. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he had his,
Yeah,
Rowan
but-
gets a super form
That's
called
pretty
Battle
cool.
Fury.
I
Yeah,
like
he
the,
gets
I
a
like the
super
dragon
form.
shoulders.
My shoulders are bigger now.
And he had like a two-handed fucking torch weapon.
Here's the biggest question I have with this show. Why no visor around the eyes? I get it so that they can see, but if you're going the whole tokusatsu route, why not have the visors along the eyes?
I think they wanted to lean a little bit away from what Power Ranger specifically was and have them be more knights.
Like exactly.
And you know what? I actually like this approach because this way we know it's actually them in the suits.
Their mouth guards look like fucking
Yeah,
ninjas
they
from
are
Mortal Kombat.
very much unique from Power Rangers in terms of how the suits are.
It looks like what would happen if Iron Man fucked Scorpion.
Basically.
Oh, apparently there were Battle Fury forms for the others in the toy line.
Oh,
there
that's
you go.
cool.
Yeah, let's take a look.
There's
put it
the
on.
Deirdre one.
Deirdre. Oh, there's
Uh,
Ivar. Oh, Ivar looks cool.
Can you expand these? Like
Where are they?
I'm just Googling them.
Google Images.
Eh.
Oh yeah. Okay, there's a thing that we learned about.
What?
Giant canceled toy line.
There you go.
There's maybe reason number one.
Oh,
that
that
this
is
show
regular
didn't
Angus.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Anyways, you can Google them if you just look up Mystic Knights of Tirnanog Battle Fury.
Oh my goodness.
Here it
Mystic
is.
Knights, Battle Fury, Power Rangers, Dino Fury, both knights. Coincidence?
Yo,
I think not.
bring Mystic Knights back.
Look how he's got the giant chalice.
So-
Oh my!
Okay.
No, that's actually awesome.
'Cause it's-
Battle Fury Ivar's weapon turns his trident into a spear with a chalice on it.
because
Oh.
what's he looking for?
His chalice.
Oh, maybe the chalice is like the key to his power. or
Oh,
something.
that's awesome.
That would have been a sweet plot point in this show.
But we all
Damn,
know
you know season 2.
But I'm gonna say this right now, the chalice he's looking for is the chalice that the fucking not Loki comes out of.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It is, in fact, yes.
Spoiler.
So does Hasbro own the rights to Mystic Knights?
Technically,
Yeah,
Hasbro,
they're just not using
yeah,
it.
Hasbro does own the rights to Mystic Knights over
Yeah,
here.
they're just not
Release
using
them,
it.
you bastards.
No, I've said it once, I said it again. It's a dead franchise.
It is.
It doesn't have to be,
No,
though.
yeah, but here's the
Well,
thing.
if only you and Ichi would buy it, that's the problem. It would only be you and Ichi.
Hell, it took Hasbro.
There's other people
No.
who like it.
It took Hasbro 6 years to finally bring back G.I. Joe. You know, their biggest flagship, figure line.
Oh god.
That's so fun. That's so fun.
They reboot their Transformers line every year.
Let's move forward.
Okay, so
Mystic Knights, they would not do anything.
episode 1 of the show is setting up the war, and
The 10-year war.
yeah, it establishes how Maeve gets her dark runestone from Mitre, the dark fairy who lives within the chalice that we eventually find out is the chalice that Ivar's seeking.
And he's not Loki at all.
He's
Not at all.
He's low-key Loki.
Not
Go
really.
home.
It's not even low key.
Wait
So-
a minute. Queen Maeve.
Yeah,
Has anyone here seen The Boys?
not
yet.
yet,
So,
but it's on my
There's a
list.
character who's basically Wonder Woman. Her name is Queen
I
Maeve.
know.
Okay, here's the weird thing about her. For the longest time, because I never watched this show, it looked like she had a unibrow. But then I actually watched the show, I'm like, oh, no, she has makeup across her
No,
face.
it's
The
Aideen.
fairy has
Fairy
the...
Aideen has the unibrow.
Yeah, Fairy does have a unibrow.
Yeah.
Appears to have a unibrow.
But like Lane pointed out that sometimes she doesn't, so I think it was clearly just a makeup. I think they just applied it badly a lot
Or
of the
forgotten
time.
some scenes.
Maybe, yeah.
I want to see behind-the-scenes images of the fairy.
Well, Lane found a behind-the-scenes clip on YouTube that I'm going to watch later.
You mean the one that I found?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I just
I'm
told-
sorry, it's been a rough day.
You two start to blend together.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't judge you by...
One of my roommates.
I don't...
Well, it's been a rough.
It's like my dad. My dad calls me my brother sometimes. He's like, Cor, can you help me with this?
Yeah, because I don't judge you by height or how you look. I judge you by the amount of pain in my ass.
You're all equal.
You're all equal now.
But yeah, so episode 1 is the war's happening. Queen Maeve shows up at Kel's castle, supposedly to talk of peace, and surprise, surprise, it's a trick because her army's attacking Kel's outside.
Psych, they all have-
Attacking.
Oh no!
Call it that.
It's like, hi, I'm obviously evil.
Can we talk about this for a second? The battle...
I'm gonna destroy your kingdom even though you have Power Rangers!
No.
No.
What is it, like, funny thing, just because I love how adorable the battles in this show are.
It's a LARP.
It is, like, fucking role models had better battles.
All we were-
Ah, your leg's gone.
All we were
Hi,
missing
your
was
arm's
just
gone.
everyone shouting, "Normal 1! Normal 1! Normal 2!
And I'll admit, I've been on a Tolkien kick lately, so I've been watching a lot of battle scenes from Lord of the
A
Rings.
toll kick?
I don't think the show matches up to Peter Jackson's movies. I'm not sure.
I don't know, Sel. I think the attack on Castle Kel probably trumps over the Battle of Helm's Deep.
That's
That's it. We
It's
did
close.
see a few shots of Temur soldiers putting ladders up the walls, and that's why
Well, literally,
that's why one of my comments is the battle at Kel's Deep.
well, literally, as it started happening.
Really, what I said when we were watching the episode, I was just thinking this is like the really low budget battle at Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, literally, as the ladders were going up, I'm just like going in. I'm in the background going. Dun, 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 dun.
No, then you see people like throwing spears. One guy literally just like drops it.
Yeah, I don't-
And
Like,
some of them throw them backwards.
A
Yeah,
lot.
some of them are throwing them widthwise.
Some of these extras like did not know what they were doing.
I really want to know what the idea was behind throw water.
It
Like,
was probably hot
It
water.
was like boiling water, oil.
he was
It's like
holding
they
it
were
in his
supposed
hands.
to boil it, but they forgot.
But guys, that's it. They just
They
had
can't
to go to
actually
New
create
Zealand.
Hey, right,
And then there's like one point in a battle where like Rowan or the king or something, he elbows a fucking guy, a soldier. He throws, like, pushes them off the ledge. They fall safely into like a cart of like hay or something.
You know, no, it was like shorn sheep.
Well, yeah, sheep wool, and,
Yeah.
and they get up perfectly fine. I'm like, oh
Well, yeah,
no.
they gotta push and fall.
Lane, you play Assassin's Creed. Are you really gonna get on fall damage now?
Yeah. No.
We're okay.
My fingers.
Yeah.
fingers.
So episode 1 is about this fake peace treaty, and Temra is growing in power. So they decide to start looking into this myth about the Mystic Knights and the warrior Draganta who's supposed to save the kingdom.
Wasn't that a Lego set?
Probably.
This would have been fun as Lego.
Oh, Mystic Knights Lego?
Yeah.
They were honestly, I think.
So taking the scroll, they set up Rowan and Angus, the thief.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say this. Angus is my favorite character in this whole show.
I like Angus.
Yeah.
He's so charismatic.
I love him.
He's so. He thinks he's like. He thinks he's the shit. And it's great.
Let me just say this too. This show, at least from what I saw, didn't fall into the whole red. Let's be honest. He's Rowan is Red Ranger.
Yeah.
This show didn't fall into Red Ranger is the worst character because he has no character.
Yeah.
No, I liked Rowan. He was cool. I liked all the characters.
I like that. I like that.
I like him.
I like that Angus messed with fucking Cod's like spells and he invented the flashbang grenade.
Oh, yeah.
So, that was great.
Can you imagine if they'd actually started using those?
There it is. Knight's Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Hey,
They're bionicle!
I think Tyrannog's gonna sue somebody.
So yes, Angus, the thief, and Rowan, the druid's apprentice, set off on this journey to find the warrior Draganta. Along the way, they get accosted by
The friends they met along the way.
Yeah.
A prince from another kingdom so that they can have somebody who isn't white.
Yeah, you're right.
I actually really like the explanation for him being there, that he's like from another kingdom.
Do you
I
get?
do too, because it honestly, like, here's the thing: diversity is great. It's a great thing to have,
Always.
but not when it makes no sense.
But it made sense here, which was cool.
Yeah.
Like
They actually outright explained how it made sense, and then that was it. Like, there wasn't any
And
conflict
it made sense
over
within
it.
the
They were
context of their world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like-
This would have worked better as a book.
Yeah. But I just love that somehow Rowan and Angus both stepped each of their feet into the exact same spot because they both got hoisted up in the same trap.
Okay, you know the guy, the Prince from Another Kingdom.
Ivar,
He really wanted to get this one bad dude that fucked up shit.
that stole his
And
chalice.
he put a rope thing hoping, okay, I hope eventually if I wait long enough, that one guy
Yeah.
will walk in this one spot.
Well, like, what was his basis? Why this spot?
Well, maybe he was just hunting.
Maybe it was like his plan was like, I'm going to ask you questions and find out.
That could be it too.
No, like,
But what is this,
once
like-
he caught them, he like actually examined them to see if they were the dude with the scar.
Oh, so his plan was just to keep like getting guys with a rope until he got the right
Oh,
one.
guys, wait! I know this was a children's show, and stuff needs to happen.
Yeah.
That's why.
But yeah, so they clear up the misunderstanding that they are not the thief that Ivar seeks, and Angus tricks Ivar into leading them to the fairy stones, which raises a few questions because, like, if Ivar's from another kingdom, why does he know where these fairy stones are more than the people who live in this country?
Maybe he reads up on like legends and stuff.
Maybe he's got a map. A very outdated map.
Maybe.
He's on a map quest.
Do you know what I think? You know what I think this ragtag trio is missing, though?
A woman.
A woman who's been told, "Don't go fighting now," but you know, deep down, she wants to.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're missing.
So we
Princess
run into this
Leia.
mysterious cloaked figure, which Angus and Rowan
Who
like
fails
easily,
the fuck out of her stealth check.
easily get taken down by them. And it's Deirdre, and Rowan's just like, "You're not supposed to be here." Deirdre's like, "I'm a fucking woman. I can
And
do
she-
whatever I want."
She turns around and goes, "Fuck you!
And then
I'll have you hanged if I feel like it."
and then they bumped into Korag out in the woods and he killed them all at the end.
that would have been the sickest twist ever.
Korag.
He looks like he would fit in that show.
He would 100% fit in there.
That'd be the Power Rangers reference. It's fucking good. That's what, Mystic Force and fucking Mystic Knights crossover. Come on.
Just have him instead of Lunad.
Boom Studios. Get it done!
No,
Yeah, comic adaptation.
no. The closest we got was a reference to freaking whatever the hell his name was from Mask Rider, the King. Apparently, he's the one that created Alpha 1.
Oh.
Yeah. So I like that. Like at one point, it goes back to the castle. And it looks like the king's like, "Well, it's time for my daily tea time with my dear daughter Deirdre. May as well." Cause it's like,
She's gone.
Sire, she's gone.
She's
You can't
always
fucking do
gone.
anything about it.
She's
And
gone.
then the king's just like,
Well, as long as she's not hanging out with those boys.
Well, time for your
all
flogging.
I remember was that there was an episode of Mystic Knights where like Deirdre got turned to stone.
Yeah.
And, like, she falls over, and just, I remember the king just going, like, "No!" And, like, she almost, like, breaks, but she
Yeah.
doesn't, and they have to, like, figure out how to get her, change her back, so.
Just like that episode where Flabber got frozen.
Seeing a lot of
Remember when he drew a punching glove, and he punched fucking what's-his-face?
Yep.
Yeah.
So episode 1 ends with them reaching Tyrannogh and doing a Power Ranger style hand in the center pose, and then falling down a gigantic hole
Yeah,
portal.
and I gotta say, the effect of them falling in the hole was actually, like, not, like, underground, but, like, when they were, like, in the tunnel of light falling towards Tyrannogh, like, that was a cool effect.
Yeah.
I really liked
I
it.
Get
know.
used to it. You're gonna see it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool. They used it 2 more times within the same episode.
Yep.
But like they did it twice. I'm thinking, fuck, how deep is this going?
No, it's like
Tyrannogh is a multi-level underground society.
It's like what Lane said. It's like Spy Kids 2.
I can't tell me watch this until time.
I was thinking of Journey to the Center of the Earth.
We're still falling.
We've been falling for 30 minutes!
Another Loki reference. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they meet the Fraggles.
You're not wrong.
So yeah, you guys were explaining that like these like race of like fairies and like little people they're jerks. Yeah, they're fucking assholes.
Well, yeah, the humans just walked in and invaded their kingdom like they own the place.
Wait, they're jockeys.
Oh, we are the jockeys.
But all is not well in Tirnanog.
Oh God, I've created a monster.
But yeah, and then like so we meet the king. And,
Finvara.
Yeah.
Oh, may I say this? They actually did a really good job of making you believe that the little people were little.
Yeah,
Like,
the camera
they
tricks are really good.
It was like
Imposing,
the reverse of like in a Toku with a Megazord. You know, low angles looking up, like high angles looking down.
Yeah.
When they were in the same shot with the people, it's like there's a good spacing.
Yeah.
They did eye lines really well. It was interesting.
Yeah, because like you see like a kind of like a side shot of like just like the characters here over here, and then you have like the Tirnog people like over here,
It's
and
like-
like it was good scaling.
It's like if they did some good composition shots later in after or post
But
production.
then if you watch the opening, it like shows them like their actors or whatever like that, and they look
Yeah.
like they're full grown size like the other characters. I'm like, wait,
I have
are
a
they
feeling.
big or
I have a feeling that's an episode.
oh, when they grow big?
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll never
maybe
tell.
Like
You
Nadine
bastard.
or like Nadine or whatever like that becomes like a human. That'd be cool.
So
Hey, he's just like, no.
you'll have to keep watching.
I don't know.
So why are they in Tirnanog? Like what's going on?
So the legend from the scroll that Kahad had tells them to go to King Finvara of the fairies of Tirnanog for guidance.
Fall down a lot of holes.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they fall a lot in this.
yeah.
They
It was like the movie
drag down
Holes.
Fall down holes.
So King Finvara decides, "Who are you fucking shit-ass humans? Get out of our kingdom!"
The fuck out of
Exactly in those words.
here. Who the rest are all of you in my
Maybe
front of
they-
my throat? Get out of here.
Maybe
Perhaps
that's
you'll
what-
enjoy my death maze. So he
And
throws them down another
They
hole.
don't. They like it's a thing that they don't enjoy his death maze,
Okay.
and so
They go through
he's
his
just
dungeon.
like, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't enjoy my death maze. Here, let me give you magic armor, or at the very least, let me give you the quests you need to access in order to access this
So,
mystic armor.
What I liked about this like arc in this episode was that it was a test, and it was a test for each of them to
Each of them had to display a noble trait.
noble trait, and I liked that very much
Oh yeah,
you
they
know what?
earn their powers.
It's a good lesson to teach children too.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, be courageous, be loyal. You know,
My favorite aspect
Honesty.
though was
Honesty, exactly.
when they dropped into the first trap, which was a nice Star Wars rap. It had to have been a Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
The closing wall.
Like, well, I know closing walls are kind of a trope in like
Everything?
everything, but
Well, said all the garbage masters on Tirnanog.
it was the fact that like
Garbage
they-
compactors in Tirnanog.
it was the fact that they fell into it. First of
Mom
all,
actually turned to me and said, "Oh, they're in an escape room."
Yeah. And
Yo,
but then
Mystic Knight escape room.
it was also the fact that they used like the sword to prop it up. And okay, again, I understand low budget show. You're not gonna have the best effects, but I feel like they could have done a few better takes because I had at no point did I feel like they were trapped.
Yeah.
It was like, wait, where? Like, just what are you doing?
Hell, I bet.
My favorite little just clearly they were just kind of like hurry up and go was the part where Rowan. He's like bracing his sword against the walls.
Yeah.
And has his hand right on the blade.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna fucking lose your hand like that.
I mean, you could argue it's a really dull old blade.
Then why was he using it?
Because it's all he's got. Although the answer to that is, why didn't the king give him a better sword?
That is also true.
Because the king was training him wrong as a joke.
No, that's what the druid was.
My Mystic Knight song?
No.
Well, now you-
On the Mystic Knight of Impulsiveness. Oh, it's so
I mean, we all heard your call out.
Kneel before me.
Oh, Lane's getting Mystic Knighted.
And I'm getting ass shotted.
In the name of Teresa, St. George, and George Lucas. Arise.
Saint Lucas.
Sir Lanefoot.
Sir Laneford.
Sir Lanefield, the Impulsive.
Short for Sir Lane Fritzenshire, the third and a half.
You can't
No.
knight, you can't knight me, so I'm already royalty.
Okay.
You can't.
You call me Ibo, Gar calls me Lanefords, you call me Laneford.
See,
Over-
So
Overlap.
you're a knight. You're a knight. What's your? Well, obviously you're a knight. You're Sir Knight.
God will be
Yeah.
my squire.
I call the rank princess.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't knight me.
Princess
So I'm too
Ibarra?
precious.
That actually sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Ibarra Hime?
Well, technically, Avara in canon is a queen now, but Terran is a princess.
Oh, okay.
So let's.
Terran, princess of the...
So
What's the second test?
So they have to get on these like pillars. They're red and blue. But Angus, he finds gold because that's why he came on the quest. He's like, oh, I got to find gold. Okay.
Yep.
he's pretty much the
He's
human
Aladdin.
version of Bender.
He's
He's
Stealing.
Slightly
I love
less
stealing.
utility.
I love stealing. I love taking things.
So it's like he finds a pot of gold with a little person, and the little person tells him, "Oh, don't make sure you don't hop on the blue one, don't hop on the blue ones or red ones." He's not entirely sure. So when Angus meets up with the others, he's like, "The little person told me, don't hop on the blue ones, hop on the red ones."
Now, okay, I missed something. I thought there was going to be a temptation for him there.
That's what it was, but he eventually decided.
I think he's the guy was like, "Oh, give me your gold, and I'll tell you what to do."
Oh,
Yeah,
what I thought it was that the test was, he's like, okay, the red ones are what they jump on, the blue ones will make them die. If you tell them to go on the blue ones, I'll give you the gold. I thought that's what he said.
I think that's what happened.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he did say.
Oh, okay.
But he said it the other way around, because when they get across, he's like, he told me to hop on the blue ones.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. I remember thinking that was odd. So, the fairy told him, the fairy told him the wrong ones, and then when Angus came back to them, he told them the opposite, which was actually the correct one, because he didn't trust the fairy. So the fairy was trying to trick him, but he knew that the fairy was lying.
The old switcheroo.
So it was like a double back.
One
it
of
was
us
like double
always
cross.
And
Is
the
when
third
they got
test-
to the other end, did it by putting some rocks on the blue one. But why did they do that at the beginning to test it to make sure?
There clearly were not any rocks on the first side.
No,
Genova's spelled with an I.
it's like when Steven did the test, and you had to get the right padding. Then you realize, oh shit, I could just walk on any of them, and the stairs would have shown up.
Do you know what it was? It doesn't violate the rules of the test, but it violates the spirit of the test.
Oh, so hopping on the fence of a maze.
Yes.
I like the exchange between Ivar and Rowan, where Ivar's just like, "You saved my life. In my country, the self-sacrifice is debt that cannot be repaid. I'm forever in your debt. All right, well, you can repay it right now by helping me win this war in my island. You got it."
I am now your party member.
Yeah.
He swore like a life debt to Rowan, just like he's fucking.
That's why he sticks around.
So the third test, they ask them 3 questions: what is your name? What is your quest? And what is the flight speed of a well-laden sparrow?
What's their name, rank, and intention? The doctor. Doctor.
I don't know.
Sorry.
So then the final, they go back to the throne room, and the king's just like, "Yeah, no, you guys all fucking failed. You suck." And Deirdre's like, "I'm gonna turn you in." The king's like, "I'm gonna turn you into Spriggans." And
Which we see in this universe are weird green goblin-looking things.
Sorry. Just the way you said that. There's Spriggans.
freshly caught Cornish pixies. Oh, Chamber of Secrets. So Deirdre does the thing where it's like they're just here to do their own shit. Turn me into a Spriggan. I'm the Spriggan. And the king's like, "Well done.
You did it.
You got weapons."
You passed the test.
So they get the weapons, and I was just thinking of the scene from the Chronicles of Narnia movie where just Santa Claus gives the children their weapons, and he's
That's still the weirdest thing to think about.
Oh, Santa Claus in Narnia? I think it's the most badass thing ever.
It's like Santa Claus lives in Narnia.
Well, it's not he lives in Narnia. He just visits Narnia.
Trump went to college in Narnia.
But Santa in Narnia, he goes "These are tools, not toys." And which then proceeds to the next episode. Angus is playing with his weapon.
Do you think Bandai released the weapons as toys?
I would love if they did.
Probably.
I don't think they actually use roleplay weapons.
Love to have fucking Angus.
Okay, so let's talk about the weapons. So King Finvara gives 3 of them weapons. He gives Deirdre the whirlwind crossbow.
Which, can I say, I do appreciate the fact that, because they gave a woman a real weapon for once.
Yeah.
That's so rare.
That's
here's the
okay.
spear.
So the woman getting the crossbow is actually a sexist trope throughout toys. It is considered to be a weapon for girls because it does not require physical strength.
Oh.
There has been books written on it, and there's like dozens of examples of female characters with a crossbow because they don't think it's realistic that a woman can swing a sword.
Okay, but it's also pretty fucking hard to load a crossbow.
I know, but the whole thing is
the
there is a sexist trope about the woman with the crossbow.
Yeah, but I actually don't think it actually holds weight though because it's
It's
very
still-
hard.
it's
I know.
still
I'm not
aim.
talking about the logistics of the actual weapon. I'm talking about writers in cartoons and.
I mean, it
toys.
still requires skill to aim, but well, anyways. So Deirdre
The point
gets
is
the
they didn't give her like a vial of healing.
Yeah.
Here's a
Or like a
spear
magic
of love.
rod.
Here's
Yeah.
a sandwich maker.
It's like,
Okay.
It's
Deirdre gets the Roman crossbow.
That's good.
Ivar gets the barbed trident, which, even though he's the Mystic Knight of Water, shoots lightning.
You know what I think that might be a reference to?
Lightning comes from water in the sky.
More
Over-
like Poseidon. You know, his weapon was.
Water
but he was
conducts electricity?
well, he was
I
also-
thought it was just
he was a-
water elemental energy of some kind.
he was also a storm god, Poseidon.
Sure.
So maybe that's what that was.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I was just pointing it out.
Angus's weapon, I was
Triton
confused
is
about.
Poseidon.
'Cause it's like it's
Angus
supposed to be
gets
like
what
a
is Angus
malice?
gets my favorite
Or a
weapon.
mace?
He gets the Terra Sling Mace. It is a rock attached to a flail attached to a handle, and this is amazing. And I think it has the most utility out of all of them because not only is it an actual mace that you can straight up bash people with, when you spin it, it starts firing rocks at range. And if you bash the ground with it, it causes earthquakes.
Also,
It has the most utility out of all of them.
Also, in one fight, he like fucking swings it and just summons a giant fucking boulder.
Yeah,
Just
what was that?
Smashes it. Fucking
I think
awesome.
that was like his limit break or some shit.
Which is weird because all of them, like the other three, have like fire.
All their weapons are
energy,
shooty things.
and then you have Angus whipping away. We
Yeah.
were going to give him nunchucks, but then we realized.
I
country
love
we're
that weapon so much for its utility.
Ugh.
Wait,
But
do you think this-
King Finvara gives these 3 weapons to the 3 warriors, and Rohan goes, "But where's mine?" Rohan, pull out your sword. So instead of giving him a weapon, King Finvara charges up Rohan's existing sword and transforms it into what is referred to as the Sword of Kells,
does it
which shoots fire.
does it not look like a two-handed sword though?
Kinda, yeah. I
So-
mean, Rohan does usually wield it.
Hey
Pretty
man,
cool-ass sword.
any sword's a one-handed sword with enough effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell that to Excel.
But now I'm just thinking, if this show came to England, was it called Mystic Heroes of Tiranogue?
No, knights are from England.
Teenage Mutant Mystic Knights.
My favorite little joke we had. So Rowan's got this like mark on him, the birthmark on the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the cheapest looking thing. It's like the size of a coin. First of all.
Yeah.
They went to
And
the
it's literally
convenience
just 3
store.
marks. It looks like a
Yeah,
pretty
it's like
cute-ass emoji.
And that's like the symbol.
The symbol of the warrior Draganta.
And I was just making the joke that like when he's like, show me your arm to the king, like the gnome king.
King Finvara, yeah. And then the way he shows it, he like rolls up his sleeve, and it looks like he's like flexing his arm. It's like
and I was half expecting King. I can't say his name.
Finvara.
To go. Oh, look at mine! Like he's
Oh, you're nothing special,
And like,
kid.
square up, bitch!
and then
We all have tattoos.
like they all like, hey, look, me too.
Is Rohan secretly just a very tall fairy?
What if the king?
Season
what if-
2.
What if the king of Tiranogue is Draganta? That'd be a funny fucking
Lane,
twist.
Lane, the king is Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, it kinda was.
We can't find. We've been looking all show for the Warrior Draganta. The Warrior Draganta's been in all of you the whole time.
Oh my
No!
god, we killed him!
If you fuse together, you'll become the Warrior
Oh my
Draganta.
god, they just like
That's
they're
what I thought was gonna happen, but
Like-
from what I've seen, Draganta is just Red Ranger's super form.
Oh
not
my,
even super form.
Oh my goodness, we ate
Draganta was the friends you made along the way.
No, he was the pig at the castle. We ate him.
Yeah, just like them and their armor, they just like transform into Megazord.
like
the
in-
Mystic Knight Megazord.
No, like in Mystic Force, isn't that what happened?
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
Rangers transform into their Zords. But no, not even like change into machines, just them in their human bodies with armor, just like grr, 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 and like break their bones
Like-
into
like-
life
no,
into a
no,
big
No,
Oh,
no, you know
God.
what it is?
Robin,
It's-
no.
It's freaking Decade. Just
Yeah, it's like they got Final Form ride.
got Mystic Knights, and like they get terrible.
Oh god.
Zyvar turns into a trident. He's got the horns already.
He's like, try it.
And he gets into a ball.
No, just go, Ronan. Shit, what are we gonna do?
How do we wield this?
Deirdre just spreads into a crossbow.
Oh god, like the Kiva arrow?
Yeah.
Something else I want to bring up. Now, I don't know how much of this was the show itself, because I have a feeling it was probably just stock footage. We got some amazing, shots.
Environmental shots?
Yeah, of, the terrain of
The
Ireland.
sweeping and
Oh,
panoramic shots? So
There's no
good.
they bought those. There's no way
for
they
sure.
filmed those.
But the fact is, we saw them.
Yeah.
And that's cool, because it was showing kids like...
It really made you feel like they were on an island.
Exactly. And, once again, when we get those sweeping shots, I'm just in my head, dun, 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 dun. You can't take it out.
Yeah.
So, also, I liked with the villain, what's her face? She,
Maeve?
Enchantress?
I like that she goes with the Loki. She's like, I need the power. I need more power. And he's like, well, the power comes at a price. All right, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Just give me the power.
No, we never find out what the price is.
Her price is that she's a knockoff of Rita Repulsa.
A little bit.
Well, he did say, I'll choose when the time's right.
He's like, I'll collect my price at a later date. You now owe me one dark favor.
Set me free. Ah, shit.
That is the thing.
Make me bigger.
Miter is actually a pretty creepy character, and I like the way he portrays
He's
himself.
not Loki.
You know
He's
who-
Loki.
You know who he reminded me more of? Q from Next Generation.
Oh, yeah.
Just the mystical guy that knows everything.
So
but
Grima Wormtongue of it.
There's a lot of Grima Wormtongue in that, yeah.
But just the villains reminded me a lot of Enchantress and Scourge from the Thor comics.
This guy is what I like to call a hand actor. He's
Are you
very...
talking about Torque?
He
Wait,
did
I
a
thought
good.
that's what
He
we were
did a
talking
good
about.
hand
Loki,
job.
not Loki.
Oh, no, we're talking about Miter.
Yeah,
Who's
the
Miter?
Dark
mini
Fairy.
guy in the chalice.
Yeah, wasn't he the guy who was
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's
Miter shall collect his
Yeah,
price
that's
in
what I was gonna
time.
Sorry.
He was a hand actor.
Yeah.
He just constantly moves and
You know what
keeps
he
his
was?
arms pulled in.
He was like if Mr. Burns had magic.
There we go.
Right,
my pretty.
And then he has these
Right.
these fairy minions. So there's this one.
blurst of time.
Yeah, he has a bunch of evil
Yeah,
fairy minions.
And there's this one guy who every time he teleports somewhere
There's goop.
there's goop underneath them and it's actual slime. But there's one point where they're journeying to go find Rowan's armor and he just appears behind a rock and he's just like I'll teach us mystic knights and he's being all mysterious and I was like
He's
the
acting all cocky even though all he's doing is telling mommy and daddy where the big bad mystic knights
they're
are.
going up to find Draganta!
I'm tattling!
He's just excited to have a job in these movies.
Yeah.
So they decide that they want they should go after the armor, but then Rowan's just like, nah, let's just go get the fucking dragon. We can take
They
him.
decide to skip right ahead to the Savage Raid and go fight the Dragon of Dare. But Vinvara told them they need their armor first, so it doesn't work out well.
Hey,
Shut up, Alpha! No, I don't need my armor.
I didn't know this was Breath of the Wild, where we could just go straight to the end.
Yeah,
game.
we just go fight Ganon.
Yeah.
Jeez, I've seen people do that. It's impressive.
Just watch Rohan just glide right into the cave.
He reminded me a bit of the dragon from Dragonheart. Anyone else seen that movie?
I am the last one.
I have seen. I know about that dragon.
I am the
I couldn't
last.
watch that movie. It's so bad.
Yeah, your movie is bad.
I do like Rain of Fire. That was a cool movie.
That was a good movie. I agree with you there.
Hey, Gerard Butler did the plot to Star Wars and said it was his. I give him respect for that.
So,
no.
But the best thing that I loved about the last two episodes.
I'm going to reenact Empire Strikes Back. Boy, oh boy, Gerard Butler, did you make that up? Yes.
you were saying,
That's
Gar?
actually a part of the movie.
It's hilarious.
I like how when they have to beat to get the armor, they have to beat the dark.
Oh, yeah,
the
okay.
dark guys. And those were definitely tokusatsu.
The Sentinels of Tamra are
They're
badass.
great. I gotta say, the first one Rowan fought, I kind of like that it was a copy of him.
They are basically Dark Mystic Knights,
one,
aside from someone who shows up way
Yeah,
later.
but the first one, the one Rowan fought, it looked clearly like it was an evil version of
Yeah.
Rowan.
All right,
it was
let me-
nice to see Rito getting work.
Right? All right. Let me flex my knowledge and just name off all of these Sentinels.
Hang on. Yeah, do that effect again with your hands. I'm good.
I can't actually do that,
I
but
can
Lane
do
does.
it.
Okay, so the Dark Sentinel that Rowan fights is Wrath Cohen, the Ice Lord of Tamra.
The
one that-
what animal was he based on?
He was just like a big skeleton man.
He was like,
Oh yeah, he
That
was
was the animal he was based off
No,
of.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because
Deadliest animal.
yeah, because the other three are based on animals.
Yeah. The one that Deirdre fights in the 4th episode is Cenarius Sky, the lightning bat of Tamra.
Yeah, he was bad.
His voice was crazy, but one part that I actually had to replay was when Deirdre shot that first air burst at him and he jumped over it, but it was just like a...
Yeah, we watched that like 4 times.
Yeah.
For some reason, after you see that, you have to see it again.
Well, because it's literally
did, yeah.
you really just want to add the
It was like someone dragged him in Photoshop.
yeah, you really just want to add the Mario sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the two that we didn't see there in episodes 5 and 6, the one that Ivar fights is Forga McCrogue, the sea serpent of Tamra.
And
I
he's
could be pronouncing that name wrong because it's been a while.
And like he is, like I watched episode 5 and 6.
It might be McCraig, I don't know.
He gets beaten by the dumbest way. So you know how the blue knight,
Ivar.
yeah, Ivar. You know how he has lightning bolts from his trident? The guy just stands in the water, so he just like behind a rock shoots lightning at him. He explodes
Well, it isn't
Spoilers.
because he's in the water. He's like, "Ugh, shit."
And the one Angus fights in episode 6 is Fang More Fang, the rock wolf of Tamra.
They
Oh,
were
he's
so
a
close.
wolf.
Fang over Fang!
Am I the only one who thought it said Cash Wolf?
No, well, no,
Cash Wolf!
the monster that
Money for
the
gold!
monster that they fight in episode 4 is the Tash Hound.
Oh,
Yeah, the Cash
That's
Wolf.
separate from the Sentinel.
wait. Oh, I thought he was a pig in episode 6.
for your
No, we're talking about episode 4.
No, I mean like in episode 6, the one that
Oh.
Angus fought.
Oh no, it's the rock wolf.
Because he's a thief. He's a rat, and it's like the other guy had like a
All
snout.
of this
So I'm
money
thinking like,
is
oh,
turned
what if
by
like,
wolf silver.
No,
I get it, but no, it's the
like,
rock.
Yeah.
The rock wolf. Okay, back to episode 3. So this is the start of the mini arc where they each go in a separate direction to find their armor that pairs off with their weapons.
No, it's more like
directions.
they go together as a group. One goes ahead to do their test. Someone else goes off to do something else, and two of them just stand there going, "Well, we're useless."
yeah, it's weird because in episode 4, it's like, freaking Rohan gets cut.
Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan gets
Another
caught.
fake peace treaty.
Yeah, another fake peace treaty. The pixie comes in, and it's like, oh, I should go get help. Doesn't get Angus or Ivan. No, goes
Ivor.
Ivar, the Blue Knight, and he goes to the freaking chick. I can't remember her name.
Deirdre,
Wow.
the princess.
They're hard names.
No, they're not.
Not really.
They're really not.
Just the princess, Ivar, Angus, and Rohan.
Dennis D, Mac, and Charlie.
There you go.
Got it. No, but yeah, basically, she goes for Deirdre, and it's like, yo, you should come and help. It's like there are two people just sitting there doing nothing that could help him.
Right? Sorry, I just had this fun thought, like imagine the whole peace treaty thing was just a constant thing of like, oh, we're coming for peace, haha! And they just go to the
Every 3 episodes there's another
I can't
attempt.
believe you keep falling for
well,
that.
not even that. They go to the king. It's like, sire, you have to stop being so trusting. Hey, I would rather let all my men die than not be trusting. Once.
Oh, also,
Not
it was funny when
even
they went
once.
to go fight the dragon or whatever like that. Like they fail super bad. But like Angus has like his ass sticking out, and like the
Oh, yeah,
dragon
he
just
gets his
like
pants
blows
burned
his
off.
pants off.
Oh.
So he comes out and like clearly he's now naked.
You can see his legs, so he's like lost pants.
So like Ivar just like brings up like this sheet of grass, and he's like, "Well, it might be a bit itchy, but these would work." And then Nadine's just like, "Ah, fucking make you some pants."
I was just thinking about, like, just because they shot in Ireland,
Yeah.
and Ireland, especially by the coast, is an extremely windy place. I'm just picturing, oh my god, this must have been a nightmare to fucking, like, get audio for.
Oh yeah.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
all ADR.
I know, that's what I mean.
There
like,
are a lot of scenes where you can clearly see it's very windy.
Ugh,
And like
I was
Deirdre.
wondering how they got the sound with it being that windy.
ADR. has to be.
Deirdre's fucking skirt choice was not the best.
Yeah, that was
It
a bit
very-
uncomfortable.
There are a good amount of
I like that when she henshin, she gets like nice shorts. You still get to
Yeah.
see some leg, but not
Battle
more than you
shorts.
need to.
It was a little uncomfortable because
And-
you could clearly see her, like the actor trying to keep her skirt
There
down.
was a literal shot of her climbing up on a rope, and she just
Yeah.
has her leg up in this one position on the stone wall where I'm just like, all right, that's
Yeah.
for you, boys.
The funny part about that is the only thing that's stopping it from being a genuine upskirt is the fact that the footage quality is so terrible.
Yeah.
That's the real reason why this never got an HD release.
Oh yeah.
So, like, Deirdre and Nadine, they obviously have some beef with each other because Nadine's just like, "Hey, you stupid." And
No,
Deirdre's
it's
like,
because Adine has a crush on Rowan, and Rowan likes Deirdre.
Oh, yeah.
It's a size
Well,
difference.
also, Angus likes Deirdre. Probably Ivar too. Who fuck knows?
They have a whole conversation while she's off getting her armor about how they think she's hot, even because they think she's dead.
It's freaking weird because in episode 6 they keep mentioning how handsome Angus is. It's like he's such a rat, but he's such a handsome man. It's like
Street
handsome.
Angus is a handsome
No,
dude.
and it's like
That's my uncle.
like he gets captured. Like he
You gotta
gets
find a picture of your uncle.
like he gets captured, and it's like take the good-looking man to our shelter. I'm like, why do you keep emphasizing on how handsome he is?
Yeah. That's news too.
I'd fuck Angus.
I'd eat him like an Angus burger.
Oh, nice one.
Damn it, I'm hungry. Why am I on the floor?
That's a very good question.
I have several questions.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
on the
so like
floor
Rowan has a
looking
cool
at-
battle with like the first Sentinel on the bridge.
The
It was pretty-
Ice Lord of
It
Tamra.
was pretty cool. So he like beats him by pretty much pulling a Balrog. Oh, Paul, you alright?
Now Paul's on the floor.
Oh, he's down.
He's tired.
But yeah, I love that
Pass out time.
they fight on like this
Oh, no.
bridge over a chasm inside the cave, and it looks like a shot right out of a Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we were saying, it looks exactly like the thing in the Mortal Kombat, the first one, where Liu Kang fights Sub-Zero. Down to the lighting.
That's what we were saying Queen Maeve's throne room looked like.
I just want one of the Sentinels to like fucking go behind Deirdre and just take her sucker. Just goes to a portal.
Yeah, I mean, we said earlier, like, fucking Rowan's, like, mask looks like Scorpion.
Yeah, and he beat basically Sub-Zero.
Justin!
He came out of ice. But yeah, so Rowan knocks the Ice Lord down into the chasm and is the first to claim his armor with the call out of "Fire within me!" And oh my god, those henshins!
They are really cool.
Earth beneath me.
The song
Water
matches
around
it
me.
so
Yeah,
well.
Floor
I just like-
beneath
I just
Paul.
I like the pose where just like
Paul
pass
below
me-
me!
Pass me the sword guard.
Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond
So I
sight.
like that, like, after the transformation happens, he kind of just, like, stands towards the camera, he just, like, kind of, like, thrusts his sword down in front of him, and I was like, oh my god, it's so cool.
Don't do that! It's gonna ruin your soul!
He just like stabs the ground too hard and he falls off the bridge.
Oh shit! Oh!
That's it. They're the Mystic Knights of the Masters of the Universe.
And of course, because he's fighting a guy on a bridge, and he defeats him by breaking
Mystic-
the bridge.
Mystic Knights,
Who
Mystic
shall
Knight
not
Force.
pass?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you were gonna make an Indiana Jones right.
Fly, you fools.
yeah. So yeah, meanwhile, everyone else outside in this episode has been fighting this weird rock juggernaut that Maeve summoned, and of course Rowan comes in and
Honestly,
dummies
the
it.
rock golem was really cute.
Oh, that's
I know
cool.
that sounds weird,
Yeah.
but it was
No,
really
it was-
cute.
No, it was cool, yeah.
It was really cool until the director said he wanted an army of them, so it got scrapped.
Star Trek 5 reference.
Yay! You can get one.
Everybody gets.
But yeah,
You'll
like,
get one.
Rowan comes in, starts shooting his fire sword at him, and then all of them team up with their weapons, and then Angus does his fucking earthquake slam for the kill, and then Angus got all the commends.
Yay!
But of course, the Dark Sentinels are not simple mortal beings, and the episode ends with showing that Wrath Cohen did survive the encounter and will return
Oh no!
In the sequel.
When does he show up?
much later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's
To the
episode,
point where
like,
everyone
27
forgets.
I don't remember exactly when, but it's a
I
decent
think,
amount
I
of
think it was
time.
episode 27 I saw.
So episode 4 is about Deirdre going after her armor, which is in the atop the cliffs to the east. So the episode starts with them practicing climbing cliff walls, and I love that. Like while they were doing it, you guys were like, "Hey, I can see the ground." A second later, they step down.
Yeah.
It's just climbing practice.
So that's why I was like, okay, they got me. I'll admit when I'm wrong.
And yeah,
Like, obviously, I wasn't expecting, even if it was supposed to be a tall cliff, I wasn't expecting them to actually put the lead actors, like, in life.
in peril.
Also, Cell noticed that Adine's wings were upside down.
Yeah, but that felt like a choice.
It is. Those are designed that way.
Like, so, and that also kind of goes with the whole, fairies weird, like,
Yeah,
sort of.
they're
I
weird
actually
magic
kind of like
fairies.
that. I like that idea. Upside down wings.
But yeah, speaking of Aideen, she basically spends this episode shit talking Deirdre because she's jealous.
Jealous of
I
what?
mean, Mom said that
she
she
can
was
fly?
like Tinkerbell, which is a fair comparison.
No, Aideen shit talks Deirdre because Rohan likes Deirdre.
I liked Aideen. I thought that she was helpful. I would have been, and I'm like, just be
She's got
nicer
some
to
sass
her.
on her.
I love her.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you're nice to her, she really helps you out.
And the way she acts, similar to Tinkerbell.
Wait, so her name's Aideen?
Yes.
Kind of reminds me of Maydeen from Arthur.
It's also because she aids them.
Oh my god.
Fuck off.
I don't know, the
It's-
unibrow bothered me, but it kind
honestly-
of charmed me by the end. I was kind of into the design.
Mm-hmm.
Her name's Aideen because she aids them.
That's what I said.
Is that,
That's
actual
actually
reason why?
no. That's an
I don't
actual
know.
name.
I don't
Aideen.
know, but
Maybe the pun was just too delicious.
yeah.
Gar, it's the reason why.
So
So stupid.
while Deirdre, Angus, and Ivar head towards the cliffs, Kahad shows up to tell Rowan that he must immediately come by himself to the Tamra throne room for a peace treaty conference.
That was a
I don't
weird
see how this could
shortcut.
be a
Oh,
trap
okay,
at all.
hang on. I just found a picture of like
not suspicious at all.
I just found an updated picture of Deirdre's actor.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Holy hell.
She's gorgeous still.
Wow.
Look, Paulette's Deirdre updated. She's pretty.
She went all Shannon Chandler.
Who?
Deirdre.
The Red Beetleborg. She also got hot.
Okay, this time I know you said it.
Deirdre just went, no.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god, freaking Rowan's actor? Oof.
He looks
I mean, they're
he looks like
acting.
Thomas Middleditch!
He's got Elijah
Ichi.
Wood's eyes.
Ichi. He is Thomas.
Oh my god!
Imagine that was Thomas Middleditch.
I need the money and
No.
Oh,
I
want
okay,
to be
okay. The
professional.
thumbnail has to be
Oh, no.
Thomas Middleditch on Rohan's body in armor. That will be fucking awesome. We did it.
And one day it's gonna make its way to Thomas Middleditch, and he's gonna be, what the hell's
No.
this?
The name of this
I
episode.
I don't remember acting in this.
The name of this episode should be No, we tried. Fuck you.
No.
No.
We'll get demonetized for that.
Yeah, once we got monetized when we hit 1,000 subs, every episode we had with fuck in the title got demonetized.
Hey, I fixed that.
How many of those were there?
Like 6?
Fair amount.
There was one episode of Ultra Ranger that got demonetized.
There were like
for that.
6 of them.
I had to fix it.
Okay, so
That's
Whoa!
too many episodes with the F word in the title.
Hang on.
are you just thinking of all of them?
Yeah.
Who's this now, Lane?
Hang on. Fuck. I hate when it does this.
While you
Let's
do
move
that,
on, yeah.
so Cod shows up to whisk Rowan away to this treaty meeting, and for some reason, the only one out of the entire group that is suspicious that this might be a trap is Ivor, the guy who's only been around for a week. No one else thinks this might be a trap.
He made it.
His Angus.
They're all the frogs in the boiling water. They're
that's-
used to it.
That's the guy who played Angus?
Yeah, it's Angus.
Holy fuck, he got cut.
He looks like
Does
Bryan
he look
Cranston's
more
son.
like your uncle or less like your
Much
uncle?
less.
it's his name.
Just,
He looks like he runs the military.
everyone gets ripped in the future.
Man, I guess he reformed his thieving ways.
You know what? This is just telling me that they could do the show again, like with the aged people. It would be better.
I would
Oh
love
my
to see
god,
that.
please?
No, you know what would be hilarious? If like season 2 was just straight, they just go for the jugular. It's Game of Thrones now.
No,
I'd watch it.
no, here would be the funniest thing of all. There has been more seasons, just it's only released in like freaking Europe.
Germany?
That's how Game of Thrones should have ended. Revealed. This has been Tierney Nog the whole time.
And Ivor.
Eh,
He doesn't look very different.
No.
yeah, cool. I'm not saying it.
What about Deirdre?
We showed her.
Oh, what about the? Oh, I thought that was Aideen.
No, that's
No.
Deirdre's actor.
Oh, okay.
Bring
Anyways,
back Mystic
they're
Knights.
beautiful people still.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Mystic Knights reboot. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crowdfunding.
Give it the 2017 movie treatment.
I was about to say that.
What fucking
No!
restaurant
About
is
their
the...
children.
A&W.
Their children.
No, Harveys.
It's about their
They have to
kids.
protect the Harveys.
You got to do something about your kids.
Ye old Dunkin' Donuts.
White Castle.
White Castle.
No.
Sponsored by White
That's
Castle.
There you go.
No, we got medieval times.
Medieval times.
Yeah.
Oh my god, medieval times.
Just
when
each of them are
Mystic
like
Knights
working as like the Red Knight, the Blue Knight.
You know what they do? They do the Sonic movie thing where like they just put it in our world for no reason.
And James Morrison has to drive them around.
Yeah. That's just his thing now.
He's a priest, like a monk or something.
It's all about family.
But yeah,
Anyways.
so Rowan gets whisked away to this meeting. Deirdre continues up the cliffside by herself. Ivor and Angus just yutz around and hang out at the base of the cliff, and after enough time has passed, they just assume that she's dead and start talking about how hot she was.
That's
She lost a
terrible.
great leader who was also pretty hot.
I do miss the 90s.
Right? But yeah, so Deirdre gets up to the top of the cliff and faces Cenarius Sky, the lightning bat of Tamra, who is just Batman with fucking Pterosaur's
It's
voice.
a great name, by the way, Cenarius Sky.
Right? All their names are great.
Sounds like Artemis.
Yeah, look that up. That has to mean something.
Gregarious.
But I love that, like, Rowan's in the throne room of Tamra, and he's, like, right next to Queen Maeve for a good amount of time, and not once does this guy, this champion of Kells, who has been betrayed repeatedly by Maeve's fake peace treaties, not once does he just think, just fucking stab her and be done with it!
It's a kid's show. Can't have no dying in Mystic Knights.
Oh,
Okay, then just shoot fire at her!
that reminds me, like, the best thing that happened. I can't remember which episode, but when all the soldiers were playing dead.
Oh, yeah, I think that was...
Yes,
And, like,
we
the-
knew that it couldn't be true because they wouldn't show that many dead bodies. on
Yeah,
the kids'
episode
show.
3 opens with a battalion of Tamra soldiers walking along a path, and there's just like probably 100
And-
Kelsmen lying there looking like they're dead,
Yeah,
and then they just get up and fucking ambush
Yeah,
them.
and pretty much it's like equivalent to General Hux. It's just like, yeah, these Kelsmen won't do, problem. And then just one guy just,
And they
It's like,
fucking,
these Kelsmen will be a problem, and that was when he learned these Kelsmen will be a problem.
they fucked up.
they caught us with our swords pointed to the ground.
And then later, like, that same general goes back to, like, Queen Maeve or whatever like that, and he's like, yeah, you're stupid.
We tried our best, my queen, and then she fucking grabs Torque's sword and fucking sword fights the dude to the ground. That's why I love Maeve. She's not just a queen with the magic stone. She'll fucking throw down!
Surprised Linkara hasn't reviewed this shit.
One day.
Should.
Oh, you want to know why?
Why?
No official DVD.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he does.
There's no way to watch
There's
this.
no,
Like,
there's no good quality video
No.
yet.
I'd support the legal release if I had one!
Also, it's official release, not legal release.
You know what I
Whatever.
mean?
That is always something that bothers me when, like, it's like, God damn, I want to give you money.
Yeah.
Let me.
Let me buy the show!
Shut up and take my money.
Let me help you.
But you know, like
Help me,
like
help
the
you.
biggest thing is probably, let's face it, the Masters probably no longer exist. for this.
That's unfortunately probably true.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, just
We
recently.
have to accept that some of this might just be lost to time.
Hell, we found out this week during Power Rangers Beast Morphers airing in the UK, they don't have the original audio files for the original seasons.
You could have just taken them off Netflix.
No. Like they don't have the original audio track because it's like, hey, we can't use the music because we don't own it. Fuck it, redub it. Redub the entire stock image.
I hate it.
Oh, we fucking hated it.
Okay, so yeah, episode 4. Deirdre fights the lightning bat who has a... Let's just call it what it is. It's a batarang.
It is a batarang.
Master Fang from
Because
Triple
whenever
Fury.
you think fucking bats, boomerangs.
I love it. Like, at the start of the episode, they're like, the lightning bat of Tamra has the shriek of a bat and the wings of a bat.
The Beatles.
Like a
And,
bat.
and the face.
The bat, the
The
wolf, the human,
The monkey. The beetle.
Beatles.
the serpent.
The wolf.
The monkey's chain, the monkey's fist, the monkey.
Yeah.
The giant fist.
So yeah, she ends up defeating the bat because Adine fakes being damaged by one of the batarang attacks, and she calls her armor with "air above me," and this is one of the two henshins that I feel could have been well edited a little more, because like the shot where you see her chest and her arm. The angles of her arm in her pre-henshin and post-henshin state are like in clearly different positions.
Yeah, they shift like the Michael Jackson black and white video.
Yeah, and though I appreciate the whole like Valkyric aesthetic of her armor, because she's the female, her armor doesn't have as much thought put into it as the others.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's
Like, which kind of sucks
weird.
because, okay, the helm itself is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, and even the armor itself, it's cool. It's just, it doesn't look complete because
Yeah.
she's missing everything below her nose, and yeah, she's still in a skirt.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just.
Like, I get it, because female, 90s, plus ancient Irish mythology.
It's just not effective in
I just
battle.
feel like we could have done a better job.
Yeah, someone could shoot an arrow at her legs.
Yeah, she herself can get hit by a crossbow and be done.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind.
She'll take a fucking arrow through the knee.
I wouldn't mind as much. It's just the fact, I think, because literally all the other ones have a faceplate. She's the only one that doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is she Rider Man?
Well, she's the loudmouth princess. She's got to be able to speak her voice.
So Rowan's fighting
princess.
like not Fluffy from Harry Potter.
Yes, the Tash Hound of Tamra. When Rowan goes to Queen Maeve's throne room, she tosses him into the catacombs, and he fights the Tash Hound of Tamra, which is basically a ghost dog with two heads.
Ghost.
We almost had
It
Cerberus.
was pretty cool, but when he was swinging his sword at it, it really, really didn't look like they were even trying to make it look like he was actually swinging.
Well, I mean, let's remember that the dog was a ghost.
Yeah, but I have to assume it was like, they didn't even, like, tell him, like, have an eye line from her or something. Like, usually when you're acting opposite of CGI, they'll have something to look at, right? So you know what you're doing. I feel like they just said to him, swing your sword. And they went from there.
We don't have
Cool.
time.
It wasn't the best effect, but whatever. What were you saying, Wayne?
I was saying, like, someone mentioned, like, made a joke that, like, oh, what if the villain's, like, lair is just in the dungeon of the castle?
Well,
Castle Bells?
Because I have a feeling, because they shot this at a real castle,
Yeah.
right? I have a feeling all the castle shots, like, good, bad, whatever,
They're all different floors of the same castle.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I could be wrong, but that's just how it felt.
That would be hilarious.
And the greatest twist of all time would have been if, like, oh, they've been down there the whole time.
They're just in universe.
It's just like, I don't use my dungeon because I don't like locking up people because, you know, I'm too trustworthy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, Si,
Maeve's
there's a peace
throne
treaty
room
coming.
did have a lot of cages around it.
No.
Oh, by the way, sorry, your 5 o'clock peace treaties here. Oh, brilliant. Send them in.
What's this peace treaty for? It's to
Kill you! Ha-ha! No.
It's like,
it's for Happy Meal toys.
Castle Kill will be Castle Kill now.
Castle kill.
at least you didn't come up with that.
That's
Wow.
The name, that's,
Kell.
that's the name of the episode, Castle Kill.
Castle kills.
Castle Kills.
Just make it Castle
Castle
Kills.
Kill. Castle Kill.
Castle Kill.
We'll probably get demonetized for that.
But I love the way they end up defeating the fucking Tash Hound is Aideen spawns an illusion of dog bones and the freaking hound goes for
I
it.
loved the face she made when,
Pretty
like
excited about it.
there's a close-up of her, like, holding the bones, and she just makes this face, it's just like, I know you want them! And I'm like, she's amazing. I love Aideen.
She reminds me of Mikey in that website, Captain Mikey, where the show gets American release and they turn Mikey into
Oh my god,
a freaking
Captain
fairy.
Mikey.
Papa Mikey!
We need to talk about that.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. I don't...
it's a weird
Fucking
show.
What
Beat
is this?
Crusaders did the theme song for that
Basic-
show.
It's a
great.
cartoon about an American kid who is animated like an American cartoon who goes to Japan where everyone else is
Oh,
animated like an
I
anime.
remember that.
And
Okay.
he becomes the star of a tokusatsu show.
Lily Moo.
Shenanigans ensue.
Stop. Lily
What's the
Moo.
show called?
Everything
Kappa
is
Mikey.
all new.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Kappa.
cool.
Mikey.
Yeah, with Japan. Yeah,
Yeah.
Beat Crusaders did the theme song. It's fucking
Yeah,
great.
and the theme song was done by an actual Japanese band, Beat Crusaders.
They did the
Yeah,
fourth Bleach opening. It's great.
But yeah, from when I saw Mystic Knights, pretty good show.
I have to say, this is very nostalgic for me because, like I said, I watched this all the time when I was a kid, and, like, you know, it's campy, it's cheesy, some of the dialogue's really weird and stuff, and, like, the battle choreography, but I don't give a shit.
The rest of the show is so good that it makes up for it.
It's cool, it's special, and the fact that it got 50 episodes, that's pretty fucking good.
I could
That's
honestly
good
see.
for one season.
I
How
could-
many episodes did
Captain
Mask
Mikey,
Rider get?
It was actually made by Larry Schwartz, who's the same guy who ran the Rumpus Toy Company that I was obsessed with when I was little.
Yeah, there's Captain Mikey.
I think Mask Rider had 42 episodes.
Yeah, it had some Pikachu.
Yeah, his name was Guano.
Guano.
And he was like one of those things where he acts super cute in the show, but then he's like Danny DeVito outside of shooting.
Kinda.
He was the director of the show.
Oh yeah, you're right. He was the director.
Also that.
But I can also see why the show didn't pick up and
Oh, and the villain's voiced by Goku.
canceled.
Oh, Oxnard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, I have never seen this show, right?
I never heard
I
of it.
enjoyed it quite a bit, honestly. If again, I like the cheesiness. It's a toku type show from the '90s. It's gonna be cheesy. That goes without saying. The fight choreography was terrible, but whatever. I can live with that.
That's not what we're here for.
No,
weirdly.
for real. Here's the thing. If this had tried to be more like Power Rangers, it would have been inexcusable. Because you can't... Like, Power Rangers is about fighting.
I feel like this show struck something resembling a good balance.
Because, like, this is one of the only times I think the show's lore was what was carrying it.
Yeah.
Because I was actually, okay, this is interesting. It's engaging. It does feel like young Tolkien. Tokens.
And I feel like the characterization... I feel like the characterization of all of our main characters in the show was charming enough to keep me going.
Yeah. It was actually acted pretty well, too, for all things considered.
Yeah.
Like, for the kind of show it is.
Yeah.
Also, surprisingly enough, they all have their own like character motives.
Yeah.
That's also true. This is, dare I say, well written.
Why the
Surprisingly so for the only original thing Saban
When
produced.
Cell told me he never watched this, I was shocked.
Remember what I told you, Lane? What I said? Well, because this is always a thing you guys always seem to say. You never watched this? Or
Yeah.
you never had this toy? And I'm like, guys, my parents told me when I could watch television. I was 5. I couldn't fight them.
Wow.
Man, but like this is totally would have been up your like.
It would have been.
You would have been sitting there with like a toy Rowan sword, being like, "Yeah, Mystic Knights."
100%.
This is the first I've ever watched it too. I've heard of it a few times. I knew it as the weird Saban show that wasn't totally original.
Yeah, so Emily, tell us what you thought of it overall.
I thought it was great. I'm not as much into medieval type stuff as I am into like sort of sci-fi type stuff, but it was honestly the tokusatsu elements were what made me enjoy it, and the medieval Celtic stuff was what made Mom enjoy it. So both of us were enjoying different parts of it, and together it was just really fun to watch. It was funny. It was just corny enough. The monsters were cool. I liked it. I want to watch all of it.
Yeah.
If this ever legit gets a release, let me know. I might
Absolutely. I will be the first to purchase it,
Yeah,
I promise you.
I will be the one kickstarting it.
Yeah.
Oh, Kickstarter previous.
There's probably like already 5 petitions to bring this show on like DVD or like any.
And we all know
streaming
petitions
service.
always achieve their goal.
Always.
Hashtag release the Snyder Cut.
I mean, it happens.
I mean, that one's happening. Release the butthole
But
cut.
that's a story for another day.
Another
That's just
mystic
a theory.
time.
A mystic theory.
A night theory.
Thanks for
Night
fighting.
Theory.
Anyways.
Alright, so thank you all for tuning in to what is basically my birthday special of Castranger.
Happy birthday, Ichi!
Happy birthday, Ichi!
We got to talk about my favorite show. All of my friends are here.
One's on the floor.
Yeah.
Good.
Regular birthday
And
party.
a Castranger episode with Paul, unless he passes out.
Yep.
So.
It's just a weird way. Like his foot's underneath your chair, so make sure you don't like.
Yeah.
Quote,
Oh, God.
or,
Do it so he
my
learns a
my
lesson.
post about him yesterday has come to fruition. He can
Paul
literally
can
sleep
sleep.
anywhere. It's incredible.
Look at that.
I love you, Paul. We love you.
He can't
Alright.
hear you. He's passed out.
So, thank you all for tuning in to yet another episode of Radio Sentai Castranger. We are coming very close to the big 300.
I can't believe it.
That said, Jikai Radio Sentai Castranger.
Oh no.
Stop all of you right now.
Oh,
Stop.
crap.
Stop. We started the 200th with Live Man. We are going to end the 200th with Live Man. Greetings, one and all. I am Aka Yellow, once again, your guide to everything that is all Super Sentai.
Oh, God.
Sell Kelvin, please. Oh no, he's got the sword!
Oh, now I lose.
What episodes?
We are talking about episodes 29 and 30, the debut of the 2 additional Rangers in the series of Green Sai and Black Bison.
Iron Bison!
Alright, so, as usual, thank you all for watching, listening, liking, favoriting, sharing, subscribing, and being awesome. Make sure to check out the primary source of our hijinks, castranger.podbean.com. From there, you can find our Facebook group where I post thumbnails, our Twitter account, our Patreon where you can help us make the show better for you, our Discord server where you can chat with other fans and listen live, and our merch store where you can buy shirts of our emblems and all kinds of shit.
Also 01 Cure Major back.
Yes, this is the last week of our hiatus from normal Toku shows, so I'm gonna spend this weekend catching up on all the filler specials that I have blatantly ignored and see if there's anything worthwhile in them, and I will make sure to report back before we start next week's episode.
Why didn't we do that while they were airing?
Because I didn't care.
So you didn't care enough while they were airing, but now you care enough when the shows are actually back.
Yes.
Hashtag Ichi.
It's the equivalent of cramming the night before your test.
I never studied.
Me either.
And now you've gone on to... Well, it's a good show.
So, Cell, thank you for joining us once again. You've graced us with your presence so many times now.
You know what? Like, I don't feel I had a lot to say this time, but it was worth watching the show. So
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did.
Paul enjoyed it as well.
You enjoyed it a
Thanks,
little
Paul.
too much.
Good boy.
Sit, boo boo, sit. Good dog.
All right. Thank you again. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye!
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening.